Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Chitresh Das Institute has been bringing Indian classical performances to audience for decades, and it's coming soon to San Francisco. Here to tell us more about this amazing dance performance is artistic director and performer Charlotte Moraga. Welcome to Bay Sunday, Charlotte.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Chitresh Das Institute is celebrating its inaugural season this year in San Francisco. Tell us a little bit more about the Institute and what your role is there.
I'm the artistic director. I'm also a performing artist, and I'm the director of our Chitresh Das Youth Company. I was a principal dancer with the Chitresh Das Dance Company for 20 years, and when he passed away about 2 years ago, I stayed with the company to finish his last work, Shiva, presented at Cal Performances, and then this year in January, I started the Chitresh Das Institute with Celine Shine Das, who is our executive director. So this home season is very exciting because we wanted to highlight the tradition. We've done a lot of collaborations and a lot of creative works, and not that this is not creative, but it really focuses on the tradition, which is heavily in improvisation of a solo dancer with master musicians. And so
Kathak dancing, tell us a little bit more about that. How does it compare to other traditional forms of dance in India?
Well, it takes a long time to master. You have three basic elements, and that is the pure dance with rhythmic interplay, with live music, and then you have storytelling. And this is in all of the classical dances of India, you have these things. You have the rhythmic aspect, nrit, and the storytelling, and devotional aspect. But in Kathak, there is much more improvisation and to play with the rhythm. We have hastaks, hand movements that have meaning, and they're not as codified as they are in, say, Bharatanatyam. We have about 12. Like this hastak can be pulling a veil, right, or it can be plucking a flower, or it can be holding an arrow. So it can be used for many different things. It's a more naturalistic way of telling stories.
It's a beautiful form of dance, it sounds like. Tell us a little bit about how long you have been dancing, and whom did you learn all this from?
I've been dancing Kathak for 25 years, but long before that, I won't say how long, I did musical theater on the East Coast, and I came to it quite serendipitously. When I went back, I moved from Atlanta to San Francisco, and I was going back to school to get a teaching credential, and I needed some PE credits. And at that time, there were 4 incredible masters teaching there. One of them was Rosa Montoya in flamenco, and then Pandit Chitresh Das in Kathak. And I always wanted to take flamenco. I was, ballet, tap, jazz. And I just really wanted to take the class, but it was full, so I couldn't get in. So I said, I'll take this Kathak dance, 1 semester. It's probably a folk dance. When I walked in this room, there was this incredible master. First thing he said was, I'm not a dance teacher, I'm a dance preacher. And he was just phenomenal, not only in his artistry and his integrity, but in his way to challenge me beyond whatever I've done before. So I said, whatever he's teaching, I have to study that and learn it.
And that's why you have a tribute to him this year. We have a clip of some of the dances that you have performed. Let's take a look at it. And tell us what we're seeing here.
This is a story, Sita Haran, where I'm going between 2 characters. Ram is about to shoot the golden deer, which is really a demon in disguise. So the deer just got shot, and the demon is unveiling himself.
And what does it take to kind of prepare for something like this? How many hours are you practicing and training?
Oh, goodness gracious, too many to count. It takes decades and decades. You have to really go deep into the story because one dancer has to portray all of the characters. And we are so fortunate in our art form. Who was it? Was it Einstein that said dancers are the athletes of gods? Well, in Kathak, we are also the storytellers of the gods. So we get to portray heroes and heroines and monsters and demons, and then the gods, the ultimate first superheroes. I'm telling a story of how Krishna lifted the mountain Govardhan to save the people from the flood. And these are ancient stories, Puranas, that go back thousands of years, but they have extreme relevance today because it's really a story between the difference between arrogance and confidence. And nowadays, if you're a leader, arrogance seems to weigh out. So it's really important for me to tell these stories. It has a lot of significance in my life.
Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Remember, The Art of Kathak featuring Charlotte Moraga is coming to Z-Space in San Francisco. For tickets, you could go to zspace.org. Coming up, attorneys will be back with more Bay Sunday after the break. They're working for a good cause. We'll tell you about it when we come back.